Welcome to PM Movie Recaps. Today's pick is a mystery and horror of 2012, Silent Night. If you're ready, let's enjoy the video. A mysterious man dressed in a Santa Claus suit, complete with a mask. Once dressed, the killer captures Jordan, a deputy in the small town of Cryer in Wisconsin. He is electrocuted with Christmas lights in an abandoned house. The following day, Christmas Eve, Sheriff Cooper calls Deputy Aubrey Brattamore in on her day off as Deputy Jordan didn't show up at work. Meanwhile, the killer goes on a murder spree, killing those who have done something he considers as being naughty. His next victim is a spoiled teenage girl who he kills with a cattle prod. At the police office, the station's secretary Brenda calls Deputy Aubrey to check on the abandoned house as someone reports that there's a bad smell coming out. Deputy Aubrey gets there and looks around the house. She goes down to the basement and discovers Deputy Jordan's body. She continually searches upstairs and discovers dismembered parts of a woman's body, who is identified as Alana, Deputy Jordan's wife. Sheriff Cooper shows up at the crime scene and tells Deputy Aubrey not to tell Mayor Revy until the case is solved. The killer comes to a local motel where a photography team is working on a softcore photoshoot. He kills Goldie, one of the models who comes to open the door, then finishes Frank, the photographer. Maria, another model, manages to escape and runs inside a Christmas tree farm, but the killer finds her and kills her at the end. In the evening, the killer comes to the church in the same Santa Claus suit. Reverend Madley and one old lady is there. The killer stabs Reverend Madley to death. The old lady thinks she is also going to get killed, but the killer spares her life. Deputy Aubrey still searches for the killer. She walks into one of the restaurants and asks the shop owner about Santa Carson. He tells her that Carson stays at the motel where one of the homicide cases happened. Deputy Aubrey finds Carson suspicious. She then calls Sheriff Cooper for backup. Deputy Aubrey walks towards Carson and talks to him. He tells her the story of a man whose wife left him and went with another guy on Christmas. The man was distraught, then went out to the party where they're with a weapon, dressed as a Santa. He crashed the party and killed her. Carson adds that this man is still doing it every year in a new town. At the end of their conversation, Deputy Aubrey calls to Carson's cell. He's panicked and then flees. She chases after him to the outside of the restaurant. Carson attacks her and almost finishes her, but Sheriff Cooper shows up just in time. After getting back to the station, both discuss the situation before heading out to patrol again. Later, Deputy Aubrey contacts Sheriff Cooper as she finds the information that there's a multiple homicide that happened in Montana 5 years ago and they're searching for the wrong killer. While driving, Sheriff Cooper calls Mayor Revy to wish him a Merry Christmas. During the call, the killer attacks Revy from the back and kills him. The killer then goes inside the house to kill Tiffany, Revy's daughter, and her boyfriend, Dennis. Deputy Aubrey goes to Carson's motel room to arrest him, and is forced to kill him when he draws a gun. Deputy Aubrey notices a small red gift box that is wrapped with a snowflake paper, and recalls that all victims receive the same gifts. The police station and her father receive them as well. Deputy Aubrey tries to contact his dad while she's on the way to him, but he doesn't pick up. She then calls Sheriff Cooper, but he doesn't listen to what she is warning and believes that he has the killer sitting in jail. However, the killer makes his way to the police station. He kills Deputy Giles at the parking lot and then gets inside the station to kill Sheriff Cooper. Once Deputy Aubrey gets inside the house, she finds that her dad is already dead and her mom is tied and locked in the utility room under the stairs. Back at the police station, the killer still searches for Secretary Brenda, but she is hiding. Meanwhile, Deputy Aubrey comes back to the station and confronts the killer. She fights with him and uses his own weapon to set him on fire. Deputy Aubrey is back to look for Secretary Brenda and finally finds her. They both quickly get out of the police station as the building is fired. However, nobody knows that the killer is not dead and he actually is the son of Ronald Jones Jr., the owner of RJ Chimney Care. Many years ago when Ronald went to kill his wife, Deputy Aubrey's dad was the deputy who was responsible for the situation. He shot at Ronald, causing the flamethrower in his hand to drop off, and Ronald was accidentally burned alive to death. At that time, Ronald Jr. was a kid, watching everything from the car. After thinking about what happened in the past, Ronald Jr. then leaves the town. Thank you for watching, but before leaving, please make sure that you click subscribe and turn on the notification so that you can enjoy watching more videos like this.